All right, sixth graders, Ms. Klug here. I'm going to be working through my first page of my portfolio, and I just kind of want to walk you through and show you how I would be working through this. So let's go ahead and start here. So the air temperature and energy transfer is the unit we're working on, and I think that's a great title for now, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that. And the first section talks about how air gets energy, and this was the image that we used in our unit, and it's a great image to portray what we're learning. So I'm going to talk about how energy from the sun, I'm just going to type it, energy from the sun transfers to the surface, and some of that energy transfers to the air. And that's how air gets energy. We know that surfaces can be both land and water. And in the investigation we completed in class, I learned there must be a surface in order for the energy from the sun to transfer to the air. When there was no surface, the energy could not transfer to the air, and there was no change in temperature. I am going to add one last thing. So I said in the investigation we completed in class, I learned there must be a surface in order for the energy to transfer to the air. In this part of the investigation, the temperature of the air changed when the heat lamp was used on the surface, or rocks in this case. When there was not a surface, the energy could not transfer to the air, and there was no change in temperature. All right, so I think that this is a pretty good explanation of what we learned, so I'm going to go ahead and take off my highlighting because this section is completed, and I like that everything is the same font, so I'm going to go ahead and change that. But this is that section. I also think that, all right, we are going to add a picture from my poster that I made during class for this lesson. So let's go ahead and find that now. Upload. And okay, there's my poster, so I'm going to include that here. And now I have this cool poster that I made in class, as well as my understanding of this question, this statement here, and I have completed my first section. So I can move on to the next section, which talks about the relationship between air temperature and energy transfer. And I can remember that during class, Ms. Klug was saying how we were talking about this relationship, and so I can write about that here. So I might say something like, in places near the equator, there is more energy from the sun being transferred to the surface, and oops, I spelled transferred wrong. When there is more energy transferred to the surface, there will be more energy transferred to the air, resulting, meaning that that's what the end result will be, in higher temperatures. All right, I might add over here that in these two images we can see that the middle sections closest to the equator and have higher temperature based on the dark red color and the scale provided. And in the image on the right, the scale shows the section in the middle will have the most, or will get the most energy from the sun. So we can explain these two images, we can add that there, and then we would move on to the last section. So I would describe this last place. So I would describe how I know that these two locations will have different temperatures. So I might say, based on the latitude of each of these locations, I know they will experience different air temperatures because places closer to the equator will get more energy from the sun will get more energy from the sun and have higher temperatures. And that is how I can explain how I know each of these places will have a different temperature. Now that I have this section done, I can go back to my portfolio assignment in here and I can update this. So I can say today is February 5th, or I can say 025, and I can say that I completed air temperature and energy, and you know what? I'm ready for it to be graded. So I would do this, and then I would submit my assignment to Ms. Klug, and then Ms. Klug will see this, and she'll say, okay, I'll go ahead and I'll give you a grade for that. And then you can begin to work on the next section. Again, if you have questions about this, if you have questions about what you can and cannot do, feel free to check in with me, ask me. You can change any of the themes, you can change any of the pictures, as long as you're including this information in answering these questions to make sure that you're showing that you understand. You can really do anything you want with this because it is yours and it is your portfolio, and it is a way for you to show just how much you have and are learning this school year. So let me know if you have any questions. I hope that you enjoy this activity because I am really enjoying I'm really looking forward to seeing what you all can share and create and work on. And remember, today is a great day to learn. Happy learning!